Yo, this is T.O.T. Thank you for dropping in today, if you have. I'm going to try to keep this part of the video as brief as I can. It is something that I do need to address. I am in an extremely privileged position to have individuals who are willing to take the time out of their day to listen to my commentary, even if they agree or disagree. There are a lot of content creators online who have a channel and they've uploaded literally dozens, maybe even hundreds of videos, and a mass majority of these videos don't even break a dozen views. I've seen channels like that, and it's always disheartening for me to see that. Like, I even have videos on this YouTube channel that only have single-digit views. So I'm always humbled when there is a video that does pop off and it does really good on viewership for my level of standards. If I upload a video and it gets like 1,000 views, for example, for me, that's really good. And I'm extremely fortunate to have that, because at the end of the day, the most valuable resource that any person has is time. Once that time is used, they can't get that back. For every person who watches any of my content, the way I break it down in my mind is they could have been spending their time watching something else, but that individual took time out of their day to watch the content that I upload. I'm extremely privileged in that regard, and I cannot say thank you enough. With that being said, there is something that I also need to make very, very, very clear. I am not better than any of you watching any of my content. Same thing applies to theory crafters out there. Same thing applies to the guide makers, the content creators who just make entertaining videos or information videos. We are not better than any of you at the end of the day, because as content creators or anybody who's trying to put out information, we are nothing without you all. That is the objective reality. It is, we benefit and help each other in a sense. So without viewership, we don't go anywhere. But without us to provide this content and this POV as well, then this may make it hard for some of you to have that type of content that you're looking for, because not everybody is going to be into content creating at the end of the day. Somebody's got to do it. And the reason why I need to make this part specifically clear is because I have the mindset of I want to treat people the way I would like to be treated. However, this quote isn't realistic. It's an idealistic quote. So my mindset toward this is treat people the way that you would like to be treated, but have an on and off switch. I would love to live in a world where I could be kind to every single person I encounter, be respectful to every person I encounter. Unfortunately, that's just not the way the world operates. That's not how the internet operates. In order to prevent yourself from being hurt or walked all over like you're a doormat, you have to develop an on and off switch. Now, that doesn't mean to just go from 0 to 100 over the simplest of things, but you will understand that vibe when you are being disrespected. There are content creators out there, theory crafters, and etc., that get into these positions to where they're doing something and they let it go to their head. They all of a sudden think they are better than everybody else who is not doing what they're doing. We are here to provide some type of service or entertainment, right? The thing that we need to do as content creators or theory crafters or guide makers or whatever the case is to be as humble and respectful as we can be. This applies to all of us. And I suspect the people who probably need to watch this video the most, who tend to get an elitist attitude, for example, they will probably never see this video. As one of the GOATs himself would say, be humble, sit down. So I have found out that the new form of Silver Wolf will have a global passive. This was not something that I was anticipating at all. I was under the assumption that this would have been a one-time thing with Castorus, but I guess we should expect some anniversary character to have a global passive on a year-to-year basis moving forward. Now, with that being said, I was actually correct on my predictions of Silver Wolf having some form of a special energy bar, which it looks like she does have that from what little gameplay I saw during the live stream. I'm super excited about that. I think that was well played out, absolutely deserved. Although her being an Eon of Elation was just kind of like a mind-blown thing, I'm kind of wondering if she hacked her way into that status, and I won't be surprised if that's the angle that ends up happening once we find out more during the 4.2 storyline. Now, before I start glazing the living daylights out of Silver Wolf's new form, I want to compare these two global passives, the Castorus one versus the Silver Wolf 9999 form. So the reason why it's no contest from me on a personal level is because I've always had the mindset that Castorus's global passive only really benefits three type of players. First type of players are going to be the players who tend to do sustainless low cycle clears. You know, it could be like 0 to 2 cycle clears. The second type of player is going to be new players who just don't have strong sustains on their account yet to keep them alive. And the third kind of player is just players who just tend to die a lot in the game. This is going to be like your Kekvin tier type of players. These players need all the help that they can get. I don't fall into any of those categories, so Castorus's global passive would have done me very little good. However, with Silver Wolf's passive being able to remove like a hard CC, this is something that I am going to be able to make constant usage of, because there is a lot of enemies in the game that have some type of CC. And even if you're doing sustainless or you're not doing sustainless, you could be doing any kind of in-game content and this will be something that can come in and help. So my TLDR on this global passive covers a much wide variety of players versus Casterus's global passive. Now, in regards to Silverwolf's animations, holy Honkai Impact 3rd animations. These animations are just turned up. They are crazy. They are insane. And all I can say is holy animations. This really reminds me of some of the ultimates from Honkai Impact 3rd. Just the epicness of them, the over the topness. I love it. I'm hooked. I'm going all in on Silverwolf in regards to getting her. Now, since base Silverwolf is going to be getting added to the 50-50 loss pool, I will be adding her onto that. In the best case scenario, I'll lose a 50-50 with 999 and I'll end up getting base Silverwolf off of that 50-50 loss, which would be the last missing piece I think I need for my Acheron team, because I feel not having that E2 on Silverwolf has been holding my team back some. But once I get that locked in, oh man, I'm gonna be able to pop a couple of more ultimates per fight, which means Cypher's gonna be able to do more damage off of the ultimate off the end. It's just gonna sync so well. That's that one piece that I'm missing. Also, Young Lee and Argenti are gonna be getting added to the 50-50 loss pool. I'm not really surprised about either one of these picks, honestly. Argenti is just really old. He was a version 1 DPS. As far as Young Lee, I do feel like Finon has completely overshadowed her, because when he uses his counter, all the enemies are advanced forward. They're forced to attack him. No other party members are on the field. Unlike with Young Lee's situation, to where it is still possible that there could be slash damage or something along those lines if she were to use her counter. I would like to see Young Lee get buffed at some point in the future, although I don't know how they're really going to do it. As far as Argenti, if they do another Nova Flare in like the next 6 to 8 months, the two characters I would like to see on there would be Argenti and Jiao Shou, because there are people who play Acheron that do have Jiao Shou. I personally skipped him because back then I was still able to make things work. Either I was using Silverwolf and Kafka, or I was doing Kayla in Silverwolf. I was still getting things done with Acheron, but I do understand where he's at, because he's pretty much been reduced down to a pure fiction bot for Acheron. And ideally, I would like to see him get improved in a way to where he's no longer just completely tied to the hip of Acheron. He could actually be a viable option for some other characters in the game besides Acheron, because let's be honest, everybody's not going to have Acheron. So if somebody pulls Jiao Shou and they don't have Acheron, it's kind of like, well, now you're kind of cooked. You even look at a character like Sarija, for example. Yes, she is extremely good with Finon, but you could also pair her with Anexa as well. And to a lesser extent, you can also use her with Archer as well. So there's at least options. And I don't feel like Jiao Shou has that same type of flexibility. It would be nice if he does have that going into the future. In regards to Yae's animations, I really love the ultimate animation with the whole Ketsune forming up this tornado-like effect and having Yae go in for like this epic slash toward the end of it. I really love that a lot. Her basic attack is really just a basic attack, nothing really too crazy. And the skill, I'm actually a little bit disappointed with. It doesn't really have that oomph for me personally. I think overall, if there was more of the Ketsune involved with her animations, I think I would have probably liked the skill a little bit more. Maybe even if the Ketsune was more involved during her ultimate animation, I would have been more of a fan of that. Her animations aren't bad, it's just I wish there was more, essentially, primarily with the skill. Now, in regards to Elation Trailblazer, wow, I didn't even know they were gonna do this. The Bruce Lee reference with the nunchucks, you doing the lightsabers and being able to combine it into a double-bladed lightsaber kind of reminds me of Darth Maul from Star Wars Episode 1, for example. They cooked. Whoever did these animations, they absolutely cooked. Give that person an apron, let them keep cooking. I have to say, animation-wise, this is probably my new second favorite Trailblazer. I'm always gonna have a guilty spot in my heart for physical Trailblazer. There's just something so cathartic about pulling out a baseball bat and just beating the living daylights out of something. And my old second favorite animations was obviously Preservation Trailblazer, but now Preservation Trailblazer's animations for me have been debunked by the Elation Trailblazer. Oh my goodness, did they hook. Alright, so during the live stream, it looked like Yae was being paired with Elation Trailblazer, and I'm also going to assume that she will be getting paired with Ho-Ho, who is going to be receiving a Nova Flare, and Sunday will probably also be in that slot, since they seem to really emphasize on her needing energy to get her ultimate up and going again. I think this is MiHoYo's way out address for players who do want to participate with Elation, but maybe they don't want to go all in, as in get the Yao Guang, get the Sparksy, get the new form of Silverwolf, and this could be seen as a cheaper alternative if a player already has these characters on their account. I think that this is okay. My only concern with this kind of a team setup would be going into Anomaly Arbitration and dealing with certain stages where your energy is just completely zapped at the beginning of the fight, or you're constantly losing energy throughout the fight in some way, shape, or form. We've already seen these kind of debuffs in Anomaly family arbitration in the past. I won't be surprised if we see them again at some point in the future. I do wonder how this particular Yae team would be able to hold up in that kind of a debuff environment. But of course, only time will tell. Once we start getting player data, we'll be able to make more concrete conclusions. Anyways, that's everything that I have for today's video. If you had taken out the time to watch this or listen to this, just want to say thank you for your time. You be safe out there. Deuces.
Repent. Receive divinity.
This is double speed. Watch closely. Double speed. Good as new.
Eternal stay and return.
Can I have fun this time? Time for fun. Deliver more!
I will dispatch you.
Needs up to this is double speed.
That paradise may be savor it for me.
Is it coming?
Fail to set you. You chose the wrong enemy. Receive divinity. Unnecessary.
More enemies. Time for fun. This is double speed.
Repent.
Can I have fun this time? Time for fun. This is double speed.
A blade knows no mercy.
Underestimating us will cost you.
I'll see you off. Receive divinity. Unnecessary. I will dispatch you. Fight is set. That paradise may savor it for me. Unnecessary. Eternal stay and return!
Is it coming?
You chose the wrong enemy.
This combat. This is double speed. More enemies. Time for fun. This combat needs optimal. This is double speed.